Hey guys, so it is the Oracle of Hope checking in today, of course. And I wanted to share what I've been up to lately. I'm feeling a bit nervous sharing this. This is a new style of me sharing, so I can feel the nerves coming up, which, okay, I'm good. So, I have been experimenting with the ways that I show up on social media, if you haven't noticed. For example, like how often I show up and in what styles I show up, to actually find what feels right for me and not just following what everybody else is doing, following the latest trends, actually tuning into my body and experimenting to see what works with me. It's definitely draining to post all the time, so not really going to be doing that anymore until I get a team to help me do that. But yeah, it's been so interesting, a very interesting journey of like learning and finding a balance of energetics, of what feels right and the energy I'm showing up in, the energy I'm creating in, what energy am I creating this post in, which I hadn't thought about before. I thought about the intention, but the energy is so important. That's like what I'm lacing this thing with, that's the energy I'm creating in, and that's the energy it's received in, so what energy am I doing that in? So I tried to be more conscious when I was creating this video to have my energetics right, but I still came in nervous. So I was like, well, obviously I'm meant to stop this video nervous, so let's just roll with it. I'm sure you've experienced that too, right? Obviously we all have. This is the new generation. Literally, that's like the most common thing. I've got notes as well, so I best put notes on because I can easily sidetrack and take it away with the wind. So I'm having a bit more structure in, which is what I said about structure and strategy. Yeah, and I actually put a bit more effort in with my posts in terms of like just more arrangement and more. I don't feel like it's more effort. So I had this message before and I thought more effort meant like show up more and put more stuff out, when actually it's putting more effort into the things that I post, and maybe like my relationship to how I post and what I put out. So for example, like I've put much more effort into this video, but in terms of preparation, creating a bit of a structure, I've got my ring light on, of course, just making sure like I feel confident and like excited and like I am like the expert in what I'm putting out, as opposed to just, coming out and just seeing what spirit wants to channel through me. That's great, that's epic, that's what I'm amazing at, that's what one of my expertise is, but I do need that bit of structure to really like hold the fort down. So when I'm like airy fairy in the sky, with the angels and with souls, I can like have that structure to keep me within certain guidelines, which like helps you guys more, because I'm definitely learning that it's great to have all this wisdom and information, but if it's not received, if it's not easy for people to understand, then it's useless, so yeah, that's definitely another one. Yes, and that ties into this next thing of looking at how I actually position myself online. Like I'm a natural leader, like I'm a natural leader. It just happens, like it's like an automated action within me to step up and like, whatever's needed of me. But then I find like in the online space, maybe I don't do that, maybe I could do that more, in a sense of, I don't know what, in a sense of like, I like showing up as your friend, it's just, the Oracle of Hope, just posting and just sharing my information and just connecting with you guys. So I do like that space. So I'm excited to see how I can, integrate more leadership in how I show up, so that it does create more of a bond and I'm showing more of myself, like I found for myself it's easy, and I don't know if you resonate here, but to like fall into safe ways of doing things, so safe ways of showing up, safe ways of like messaging, like, yeah. And I don't want that, I don't want to be safe. I just want to be me and all of me as if it's just me talking with a friend on a voice note, you know? So that's what I'm trying to do, just get more into this like one-on-one voice note type vibes, as opposed to like, oh, this is me like presenting myself for the media to, because it's what, you know, other people do. Because just because, you know, more popular influencers show up like that, that's not how I want to show up. So I'm really finding my way. Yeah. Yeah, and then looking at like releasing all my attachments to labels, like, oh god, I don't know if you've seen it or you've felt it, like there's been such a big resistance to releasing the phrase life coach. Because I was like, for a while now I've been like, girl, I don't want to do like one-on-one life coaching, like that's not me. And then like releasing attachment, then it's like, well, who am I without this, you know? And then I failed, you know, it's a failure, but it's not, it's learning and it's growing and it's going in these next motions. And oh gosh, like just so sticky. But not sticky anymore. Just, you know, really having compassion with myself, holding myself through this journey. I definitely have the, I forgot what kind of style it is, but like the achiever, whatever that is. I'm the helper and the achiever and the questioner. I seem to have like a lot of the enneagrams. I think it is. But yeah, the achiever is definitely a big one up there. so yeah. Releasing all those labels. And then the next part of my journey has been healing. Oh my gosh, like I had been so like focused on embodying change in how I show up for my friends, how I show up in like intimate groups that I'm in, and my relationship to money. Like, girl, like I've been doing a lot of abundance work, and I've been getting that abundance in more than just money, in like being gifted things, like going out and like thinking, oh, I want to get like a free hot chocolate today. Then somebody being like, oh, 3 people saying, you know, do you want a drink? Do you want me to buy you a drink? And I'm like, okay, like, you know. So that was good. I got a message there. Yeah, and just like abundance in my health. So I've been diving deep into herbalism, and really seeing the way that like embodying these herbs, like learning about the herbs, learning what my body needs during the winter times. Like I'd been sick 3 times in like the past like 2 or 3 months, and that's because I had a low immune system because I was vegan for almost 4 years, and then integrating back into non-veganism completely threw out my gut microbe, and then I got a vitamin K and a vitamin A deficiency, as well as being sensitive to eggs, wheat, dairy, and sugar and processed foods. So like I've had a whole like a physical body change. So like up in like the herbs like thyme, rosemary, things that I'm putting into my body, and I found by being more grounded, I've been able to connect more to source, like channel more to source, because I feel more like myself. It was literally like just yesterday that I was I think it was yesterday or the day before, like I ate, like I just put some like thyme on like some toast I had, and oh my gosh, like I felt like so much more like me. I felt so much more grounded in who I am, which then, you know, allowed me to step out my way even more, to be a clearer channel, and just like to embody more joy, more gratitude, and like the purest like source essence of me. It was easy to tap into because I was so grounded in more ways than what I thought of. Poppy's just entered the room. I'm gonna let her say hey. Baby girl, look at my baby girl. She's so cute. She doesn't like cameras, do you, Bobby? Okay. So yeah, then with that, you know, grounding, it's like trying to find this nice balance of connecting to source, connecting to the skies, and also connecting to the ground. So, you know, like with the herbalism, but then also, she's gone again. She wants to come in my room if we're just chilling, she wants to lay on my bed with me all day. But as soon as I'm doing something, like, she's like, like, I want to lay in bed with you all day. Like, yeah. She wants to lay in bed all day and she doesn't want me to do any work. And when I do, she gets grumpy and she goes out the room. So, suit yourself, girl. Yeah, she definitely gets that attitude from me. She's a Cancer, so she's really emotional and cute and you. But yeah, so yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I think when I talk, I can like bite my cheeks. And I don't know why I do that. Sometimes I do that when I'm eating. I like bite my cheek. So it's definitely a message. So, yeah. Just feeling what's coming up for me again with the door and stuff. Micro trauma around the door opening. When I used to smoke weed, and like my parents were really against it, of course. If they're a caring parent, you know, my parents cared, and they didn't want me to do that. So I had like micro trauma around the door opening of being caught, you know. Caught you, got you. So it like knocks my nervous system up a little bit. So yeah, so working with the moon cycles, like with each like waning crescent, last quarter, first quarter, things like this, there's like certain actions and energies that can be aligned to that to really work with it. So some of them is like, you know, clearing out, doing nothing, being grateful, like all these different ways that we can like sync up with the moon that enhances and is like having more support in what you're doing, and it's epic. And I've even like felt my theme for the day, tapped into the energy of what I felt, and then checked the app. I forgot what the app's called. I'll like put it in the description to see what cycle the moon's in. And then I'm like, oh my God, like that's literally like so in sync with what I'm experiencing, which is like a shitload of evidence to show like how in tune with the cycles we are. And that goes the same with astrology. So like tapping into like where Mercury is at, where Venus is at, you know, where Jupiter's at, to see like how it actually is influencing us. And the moon changes, I think, its sign every 2.5 days, and that's been so suited with me. Like Mars was recently in Gemini, and Gemini is the ruler of, I think, the lungs or the skin, and Mars is inflammation, and at that time like I had like inflamed, so I get like eczema, which has only been here for like the past like 2 or 3 years now, and I know it's to do with like my beliefs and what's going off. And inflammation is basically stored trauma that's physically manifested into, you know, eczema or dermatitis. You know, it's a range of this what I have. Yeah, so yeah, just seeing how like the planets, the astrologic placements of the now is actually influencing and in sync with everything that I'm experiencing, which is really giving me so much evidence that we really are one with the universe. So it is important to pay attention to the stars, the sky, and what we put into our body, you know, connecting to nature and being able to ground through herbs. So yeah. So then, yeah, with healing as well, comes, oh, so I'd been focusing on those things, and then like I had all these deep fears coming up. Like I'd faced these fears before many times because it's the same ones that come up, but like on a whole new level. Like these bitches were hiding in the freaking corners. Like these were like shadows that were like shadows of shadows. Like I did not see these for a long time, let me tell you, until they had the power, because they have the power in the shadow, until they had the power that was like really influencing everyday life in very like overpowering ways. I was like, damn, like the fuck did you come from? So then I noticed them, and then I was like, shit, like it's time to do some deep healing work. And like I could feel it was a calling for new healing methods to come through, like new ways of dealing with myself and my parts. And then I came across this book. I was divinely guided to go to this event. Like I just felt like, fuck it, yeah, I'm gonna go to this event, because for me, like my gut feeling when something feels open. It feels like a just open. It feels like there's no resistance. Whereas if it's no, or something doesn't feel good, there's resistance in my body. So anyway, I went to this event and I got this book, and it was about like this woman's healing journey, and I was like, she was talking about internal family systems and parts work, and it just instantly transformed my life. Like, I identified all my parts, all my protectors, like all my little parts. I gave them all little cute names, and learned about them, like how they felt when they come up, like how they influenced me, what fear they were driven by, what they were protecting me from, and like how they were, you know, what their reaction was, what their like guarded state was. And I really got to know them. And like almost instantly they lost so much more power. Like they lost that power, like their power, how much they were holding, like obliterated. And then I was embodying Ho'oponopono, which is I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. But in this sense, I did it as like when these parts would come up, I'd be like I forgive you. You know, this way of protecting me is all you've ever known, and it's kept me safe for so long. So thank you so much for keeping me safe all this time. I'm sorry you felt like you had to do that, you know, but you're safe now. And I love you so much. And then in that I love you, I'd expand that into, you know, what does this part of me need? Like to feel safe, to feel seen, to feel secure, and to feel like validated. Like, what does this part need? Does it need a cuddle? Does it need words of affirmation? Does it need a boundary? Is it trying to tell me a lesson? Like, is it trying to communicate something that's important to me? Yeah. So, and also like, so I also have the thing of where like, in fight, flight or freeze, I tend to like, I have done a fight or flight a few times, but I tend to freeze, which I'm sure many of us do. I'm sure you have too. If you haven't, drop me a comment, that'd be great to know. Yeah, and like my trauma like comes up later, so something will happen and it won't be until my body feels safe enough to visit this part, like until that part of me feels like I can actually hold it through that, then it won't come up. So they've been coming up, a lot of them have been coming up. And I've had like so many physical traumas as a kid. I don't know if you have, but like physical trauma in the sense of like, how did I even forget about these? When I was like a year and a half, I burnt my chest with boiling hot water and I've got a massive scar under my boob. And it's in the shape of a H, which is quite cool. It's like a personal branding. You know, when they say about like branding, that is like ultimate branding. But yeah, so I have a big scar there. And that's really traumatic, you know, like that's traumatic, like boiling hot water, burning your skin. Oh, you know, like I have no recollection of that, of course, because my brain wants to keep me safe from that, like, do you know what I mean? And then I also here I've got a little scar. So I was in Turkey and I was playing table football and I had a rock crystal bracelet on, so I was wearing crystals from a kid before knowing what crystals were. And it pierced me a millimetre away from my main artery, so I could have literally died. Like when it happened, like the water squirted out like a water fountain, but it was blood, a water fountain of blood. Yeah, and you know, that's traumatic. And then just like little things like my brother, like he got like some bread and it like cut my eyeball like in the shopping centre. Like he pulled the end of a bread off, a crusty bread, and like it like slashed my eye, and I was like obviously screaming and crying, and that hurt obviously. And yeah, just I like bust my lip open when I was a kid. Like I got a scar on the inside of my lip from where I bust my lip open. Just been a very, very like accident prone kid. So yeah, but then actually not having, you know, ways of how to release that out of my body, not knowing, you know, so all this like unsafety in my body, this disassociation and numbing and suppressing, yeah, so just releasing that, being so compassionate with myself, and doing like somatic vagus nerve exercises to release that and to clear that out of my body, to come back to safety, because that's what all my body's asking for really. But then like as soon as I'm doing that for myself, instantly seeing how that like has changed the way I show up for other people. So like I'd experienced something myself, and like 3 or 4 times in that day I might like, you know, meet that part of myself, that wounded part of myself, with compassion and bring it back to love. And then the next day like somebody else would display a very similar wound, and like before it would like I'd like, you know, get a bit triggered or take it personally, but this time I'm like holding in so much compassion, and like I completely understand what they're going through, because I had met that part of me and was able to hold that part of me, so I could hold that part even deeper of somebody else, you know, so, which is so beautiful. So yeah, so I'm still doing a lot of that work now, and yeah, so just some extras of what I've been up to. I've been writing a lot, so I love to write. I write in a journal every day, every morning and night, although not so much in the mornings recently. But I've been also writing like magazine submissions, and also been writing for my book. Now, many of you who know me, I know most of you on my Instagram, I'm motherfucking writing a book. Like I've been writing this, like this book has been in the making for like years, you know, like every time people meet me they're like, you've got like books worth of life in you. So I decided it's time to, you know, start with that and get the ball rolling. So I've been writing things like that and exploring how I'm showing up in that too, which is exciting. And I've also been doing a lot of fundraising. So you know, part of my life is just like being of service to spirit and helping the world in whatever ways I can. So I've obviously took a step back from like, you know, helping people one-on-one as a paid service. So instead I've been doing like paid fundraising, which I've really been enjoying. I really enjoy it because I get paid like to do a good thing, and I also get to develop myself and learn how to connect with more people in the process. So it ticks a lot of boxes. So I really enjoy that. And my last surprise, dun dun dun, drum roll, I am going to Australia, which like, since I've like made the decision, got my visa, booked my flight, mid-February is when I'm going. Since I've done that, like I've been seeing so many people are going to Australia. I'm like, hello, like did we all get the call like Australia's like English people, come and see me? So we're like, hell yeah. So yeah, a lot of us are going to Australia, but yeah, so I'm flying into Melbourne. I'm not going to give too many more details away, but yeah, I've got a working visa, which is like a year's visa, which can be extended. So that's exciting. So I'm going to Australia. So yeah, oh my gosh, like, so I'm not going to be going to any of the events that I usually see all you guys at. So you're going to have to keep in touch with me online, on here. You're going to have to drop me a message and I'll drop you a message too. And yeah, like if anything I've shared today you resonate with or you've been going through, drop a comment, drop me a message. Obviously my inbox is always open just for a friendly chat, you know. Yeah, it's all exciting. And I got my eyebrows done again. So like if you've been following me for a while, which I'm sure most of you have, you've been around for years of my journey, I've been dyeing my hair, so my hair's also lighter. It's not done today, I'm gonna wash it later. I thought that was the last step of me showing up for this video. I was like, I'm not doing my hair for this video, I'm literally gonna wash it like not long after. So but yeah, been doing a lot of hair treatments. I cut it recently, but it's been growing so much and I'm excited to see it grow more. And yeah, so I've been getting my eyebrows semi-permanent tattooed. So yeah, what I was saying, which is why I have structure, because this is on my list. If you've been around, you've probably been seeing my eyebrow journey. This time, they're a lot like further apart, and I like that. It makes you look more friendly and open, you know. And I realised my resting bitch face was because my eyebrows were coming too far in, so it's making me look more angry than I actually was. So yeah, so this is a new shape. I've only had one session, so my next session is soon, so they will be topped up soon, but I wanted to embrace them. So yeah, that's what I've been up to, and I just wanted to check in, you know, thought there'd be more value added, you know, telling you guys what I've been up to, like, and just like sharing what I've been doing, because I have been more absent, and I don't know, I want to let you guys know what I'm up to, because a lot of you like to know I lead a very interesting life. And you know, it's easier to catch up with you all on here, as opposed to inboxing you all individually. So yeah, but I do love, obviously, a private inbox, love that shit all the time. Yeah, I think that's it. Last thing, I've been getting some plant babies. I got some new plant babies, and they're so beautiful. They're not in my room at the moment, but they can't come to Australia with me. So if anybody local wants to become a plant mama, wants to help look after my beautiful plants, I would love to do that, because I really want them to grow. They're so beautiful, and I can't take them with me. So yeah, thank you if you stayed until now. Definitely drop me a comment or an inbox if you have stayed till now, because you're a legend and I love you so much, and you're so cute and you're so worthy of love. And yeah, have a great day, rest of your day.